This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video, I team up with Tom at Trackside Profits, and we go over the Grade 1 Pennsylvania Derby at Parks on Saturday, September 20th. We give out our top choices and wagering strategies as well. This is the second video I've done with Tom. We did the Grade 1 Haskell earlier this year, and we're planning on doing some more videos together in the future. So I would like to thank Tom for working with me again. And don't forget to subscribe to his channel, Trackside Profits. And I hope you enjoyed this video.
Well, start out. I'm Tom with Trackside Profits, and I'm here today with Jarrod Horak from the Runaway horse. We're teaming up together to get you guys the Pennsylvania Derby. It's race number 14 at Prax this Saturday. The post time is 6 o'clock, and it's 1 1/8 miles. This is one that you and I talked about when we broke down the Haskell and kind of pointed it as one that we wanted to look at. And I think we picked a great race. This is just packed with so much talent, so many good 3-year-olds. I'm really excited to talk to you about it today.
Yeah, and we do have some of the horses that were in the Haskell with Gosger and Goal Oriented. And then you have Baeza, the favorite in this race, and Magnitude, the speed. So there's plenty of contenders in here.
That's right. I'm thinking that the pace in this one is probably going to be pretty fast. We have Plex come out of the Ohio Derby. You know, he did his best when he came from the outside there and got ahead of everybody. Magnitude does his best work on the lead. You have a lot of different speed horses in here. How do you think the pace is going to shape out?
It does seem like the pace should be fast. You even have So Sandy on the inside, probably just because he has the inside and some speed. Altobelli's outclassed number 2, but stretching out from sprint races, so he'll probably be forwardly placed. Magnitude only knows one way to go, so he'll be up there. As you mentioned, Moplex as well. And you have some horses with some tactical speed. And typically when you see races that have tons of speed like this one looks on paper, one of the speed horses like Magnitude shakes loose and could win. We've seen that before. Or the horses that track the pace and get the first run usually do well. Sometimes the late runners fall too far behind.
Yeah, and some of the speed horses, like you mentioned, Altobelli, really just I don't think belong in this race. I don't have him really having any kind of shot, as well as Happily Delusional. Do you see any kind of course for them to hit the board in any way?
No, it doesn't look like it because there's a lot of quality in this race, and you have speed horses that don't like to back up. Even Magnitude's a quality speed horse, a graded winner at 1 1/8 miles, and you have the good tactical horses like Gosger and Goal Oriented, and Baeza as well. He's versatile, so I don't see any way that those longer shots can come in.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. Well, let's get into a horse that I really like, Baeza. I've seen him out here in California race a couple of times. He's really interesting. You know, he's only lost his last couple races, 4 races, I think, to either Sovereignty or Journalism or both of them. And they've all been pretty close. Do you think he's the horse to beat? What are your thoughts on Baeza? How can we beat him?
Yeah, he is the horse to beat, but he still only has that 1 win. So he has 7 career starts with a win, 3 seconds, and 2/3. And he's hit the board a bunch of times in stakes races, but some good horses beat him, like Journalism in the Santa Anita Derby, and Sovereignty and Journalism in the Kentucky Derby. He was 3rd. And then in the Belmont, again, 3rd behind Sovereignty and Journalism. And then he ran into Sovereignty again in the Jim Dandy, and he ran a quality race, but Sovereignty beat him by a length, and that was a measured length. He was definitely best that day, and Baeza was clearly best of the rest. So now maybe getting away from Sovereignty and Journalism, maybe it will be his day.
If he runs that same race that he just ran against Sovereignty and maybe push Sovereignty harder than any horse yet, you know, Sovereignty's really in great form. Do you think he wins this race?
Probably, if he runs back to that. I mean, but we do have some horses that are capable of beating him, like Gosger and a Goal Oriented, even Magnitude on the front end. So Baeza will have to be at his best to win this race, and he doesn't have a stakes victory yet. And sometimes we see these horses, they'll run well against better company, but even when they have lesser company, they'll just kind of run to their company. They won't jump forward. But we'll see. He certainly he's more than capable of winning this race.
Yeah. Let's talk about a horse that you liked in the Haskell with Goal Oriented that almost got it done there. Coming down the back stretch, he hooked up with Gosger, and at one point it looked like he was going to re-rally. Showed a lot of guts. Of course, they both got They both got it taken out at the wire there. But he's one that maybe could take a step forward here. You know, Bob Baffert does a great job with these horses. He's lightly raced. What do you think goal-oriented chances are going to be in this one?
He has a decent shot in here. He's, like you said, he's lightly raced, and he has that Grade 1 stakes experience in the Preakness. He was roughed up pretty good there, finishing 4th, and Gosger was finishing in front of him that day. And then in the Haskell, again, Gosger did finish in front of him. Goal-oriented had the outside post. He was tracking the pace, and he ran a good race. He was well clear of the rest, more than 7 lengths clear of the rest of the field in 3rd, and just a neck behind Gosger. And certainly not embarrassed finishing, having journalism defeat him.
Yeah, and still definitely room to improve with him. So I think if he could take another step forward, he could definitely maybe find the wire first this time.
Well, he definitely could, and he's been working pretty good. I thought he was working even better prior to the Haskell, but his workouts have been solid. He's been working in company with Privman earlier last month. Privman won a couple races at Del Mar over the summer, and he was working with Barnes, and then Barnes would come back and finish a decent 3rd in the Grade 1 H. Allen Jerkins at Saratoga. And then he had a solo work, and then Nevada Beach outworked him on September 5th. But then at Santa Anita, Gosger, goal-oriented last time, he outworked Nevada Beach. He looked much better in that workout, and he seems to be coming into this race in good order.
Yeah, you wonder why, or if Baffert maybe thought about running him in the Travers. Like you said, I thought that he was really in peak form right there, and it is kind of hard to hold that peak form. So we'll have to see Saturday if he was able to, or if he is going to take a little step back.
Yeah, I think they did consider the Travers, but I think Sovereignty scared everybody away there, I think, and they ended up just giving him more time, and we'll see if that pays off for him.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's talk about a horse that I'm pretty interested in here. And it's not Gosger, but it's his running mate, David of Athens. Now, he had really nice work with Gosger, and I actually kind of liked his gallop out a little better. This horse is lightly raced. He seems to be improving. And, you know, they didn't shy away from putting him in this spot. With Gosger, what do you think his chances are? Can he hit the board? Could he win?
Maybe it would be an upset if he won, but certainly I think he can hit the board, and it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that he would win. And I think it's interesting that Tyler Gaffalione rode him last time, and he also rode Big Truzz to a big victory in the Ellis Park Derby, but he decides to stick with David of Athens, and I think that's a good sign there. Like you said, he's lightly raced. He's only raced 3 times. And he has a lot of upside. He earned a decent speed rating last time, right up on the lead. He'll probably be tracking the pace in here, and he gets tested for class.
Yeah, he dominated last time out. You always worry that he might, stretching out a little bit, might be too much for him. But he did have a really nice workout with Gosger on his outside, and he looked impressive gallop out. He's another one. A lot of these horses are lightly raced, even though we're kind of late in the season for the 3-year-olds. So there's a lot of improvement angles, and I think he's one that could probably improve definitely and run a big race.
Yeah, that's something you want to look for, especially as you said, later in the year. Now you have the horses improving, horses that have been lightly raced, that they haven't been racing all year in the big races, are able to jump up and continue to improve and possibly win a race like this. So he's one that I definitely would throw in there.
Another one that you just mentioned was Big Truzz. That's another interesting one that really hasn't stretched it out. It looked like he was going to be a pretty solid sprinter, and maybe they would go that route, but they opted to stretch him out beyond the mile here. What do you think his shot is going to be in this race? How do you see him? You mentioned that Gaffalione jumped off him for David of Athens, so you can take that as you will. But what do you think the shot of what kind of shot does he have?
Well, he definitely has ability. He was in the Grade 1 Woody Stevens. He finished 3rd behind Patch Adams, and that was a decent effort. In the Indiana Derby, I did pick him on top that day. He was stretching out. He was stalking wide. It was an inside speed bias track that day, and Tip Top Thomas was able to just go all the way in there. And then last time he had his big breakout performance, a 1 mile race at Ellis Park. In that Ellis Park Derby, he just romped by 7 lengths. That was a strong effort. But much tougher field here, longer distance. So he's not without a chance to at least hit the board in here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Another one in kind of that same vein is Plex, coming from the outside now in the Ohio Derby. He had things his way, and he looked real good. He handled everybody, but then he came back and didn't look quite as good. He's one that's probably going to want to try to get out to the front. I don't know if he's naturally quick enough to cross and clear everybody, but he'll definitely probably add to that speed pace. What do you think about Plex's chances?
Yeah, the key is going to be, as you said, he wants to be up there, but Magnitude and then some others drawn inside may want that position as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that he's going to be able to stalk wide and lose all of that ground and defeat horses like Baeza, Gosger, and goal-oriented, because they'll be in a tactical position as well. So I'm not sure that he has a winning trip in here from that post.
Yeah, I saw that he had a super fast workout there. So I think that's going to be his game plan, is probably to get out to the front. But it's going to be an interesting race, like you said, with all these front runners. It might set up for the horse that can be most tactical, or maybe the horse coming from the back of the pack. One of the horses that I like, that I had in my exacta, and the Haskell's Gosger, he's very versatile, and I think that he can set a tracking trip here, and maybe have first run at the leaders. He's already got goal oriented twice, although one time, was in that Preakness when we had the trouble in the stretch there, but it didn't really affect Gosger, and I don't think goal oriented was going to get him in that one. But last out, they really hooked up and seemed to be fairly equal. What do you think about Gosker's chances in this one?
Yeah, I think he has good race spacing, and obviously he has a lot of ability. I picked him back in the Lexington Stakes. I liked him, and he was able to win nicely by a couple lanes. He was my live long shot in the Preakness, and he almost upset Journalism. If it wasn't for the trouble trip, Journalism would have won the race easier, but Gosger still ran a quality race in there, and then he just came right back and proved that effort was for real when he ran another good race in the Haskell Stakes. He has, like you said, tactical speed. He has also a good late pace rating, so that combination of being able to track the pace with a decent finishing kick gives him a big chance in here.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And that brings us to Magnitude, another horse that's really interesting in this race. If you just went by the numbers and nothing else, he's definitely fast enough to win it. He had that the 108 buyer, and then he got hurt. He followed it up with a 105. And then he was kind of not the pick, but a chance to beat Sovereignty in the Travers, because he hadn't raced and he had those big numbers, and he kind of just flopped in that one. Do you think it was the distance? Was it the race flow? What happened to him in that race? And do you think that Magnitude will be able to come back in this one and run a big race?
And that's the big question, because he was so good in that Risen Star. I think he had a 108 buyer speed figure, and everybody was thinking maybe he'll be the Kentucky Derby favorite. And then he had an injury, he was set back, and then he came back in the Iowa Derby, and he romped there, looking just like he did in the Risen Star, and then coming into the Travers, possibly looking like the controlling speed from the inside post. And he was able to get out there, but he wasn't able to open up like he did in the Risen Star and Iowa Derby. And Bracket Buster was right up with him that day, and Bracket Buster easily outfinished him, and Sovereignty easily outfinished both of them. So that was a disappointing effort. We'll see if he can bounce back in here. There's some other speed. I'm just not sure what we're going to get from him here.
Did you ever hear anything from Asmussen about why he didn't perform in that race, or was it just case of he just didn't run?
I just remember him saying that he just wasn't as dynamic early in the race, where he really gets on the bridle and he shows good speed, and he's able to just have that good stride going, and he just keeps going. He just never seemed to be able to get away from Bracket Buster. On paper, it looked like he should have been able to do that, but he couldn't, and he just, for whatever reason, I don't know what the reason was, but this is only his third start since February, so maybe that Iowa Derby took something out of him, and then facing Sovereignty, anybody can look bad against Sovereignty, and maybe
right.
He'll bounce back in here.
Yeah, I think that's your hope if you're backing him, that he gets another race under his belt. He has such a high cruising speed. That's kind of his gift. If he gets out there to the front and he sets moderately quick fractions, some of those closers think that they can be a little farther back than they actually can be. And when he turns to home, he doesn't really slow down. So if he is going to win this one, I think that's the way to go. It's a little scary that there is so much speed. Like you said with Bracket Buster, I don't think he's going to have an early lead in this one. I think he's going to definitely be challenged. Do you think that's right?
It's what it looks like on paper, but you never know. And like you said, he has a high cruising speed. If he can just get out there and set legitimate fractions, get the field strung out, have the horses that are chasing him get tired, and then suddenly he's clear, he could go a long way, especially if the track is speed favoring that day. And he has, like you said, he has the numbers to be a competitor in here. He's just going to have to run so much better than he did in the Travers.
Kind of a wild card in this one, definitely, which makes it a fun race and a good betting race. I think you'll be able to get odds on a lot of these horses. I'm looking at Baeza probably being the favorite, maybe around 2-1. How do you see? Do you see Baeza being the favorite in this one?
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be the favorite in here with those good running lines. And he ran a quality race in the Derby and Belmont, and then also ran a decent race against Sovereignty last time, and then Sovereignty would come back and win the Travers by 10 lengths, and everybody sees that, and they're going to say, Sovereignty's not in here. He was only a length behind that one, therefore he should beat this field. I think a lot of people are going to use that logic.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that the race could set up for him if they all get out there running. He's shown those big, powerful late runs. He could definitely get it done. Now, as far as Gosger and Goal Oriented, who do you think will be favored over those two horses in probably the second spot? Or do you think Magnitude will get up there?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, because Goal Oriented's 5-2 morning line, and Gosger's 4-1, and Gosger finished in front of him twice. But Gosger's been a fair price in his race. It's 15-1 in the Preakness, 6-1 in the Haskell. Even in the Lexington, he was 4-1, so he doesn't seem to take the money, but he continues to run quality races, and maybe the bettors will back him heavier this time. We'll have to see if the Baffert angle gets Goal Oriented to take more money, but I think that Baeza is definitely the clear favorite, and then we could have 2 or 3 horses like right behind him, close in odds.
Yeah, I agree. Baffert always seems to take money. I think he's won this race 4 times, so it's deservingly so. He trains some pretty good horses. Well, how are you going to bet this one? I think I'm going to go ahead and pick Gosger again. I think that Baeza maybe has the most likely chance to win, but I think he's going to be a little over bet. If I can truly get that 4-1 on Gosger, I would go with Gosger to win it, and then I would play Baeza underneath, and then maybe a smaller bet with Magnitude underneath. I don't think you can leave Magnitude out. If he starts drifting up to the 5-1, 6-1, you might want to even put a small win bet on him because he's a horse that definitely has the talent and could definitely win it. And then as far as the exotics, I do like the David of Athens underneath, maybe to pick up the 4th spot. But if I was to do a trifecta, I would probably go with Baeza and Gosger on top, with Magnitude, Goal Oriented, and maybe David of Athens underneath, and try to get some value. How do you see betting this race?
Yeah, I'm going to make Goal Oriented my top choice. I was torn between Goal Oriented and Gosger, but I picked Goal Oriented in the Haskell, so I'm going to stick with him. He's the 6, and then the 9 is Gosger. He's my second choice. Baeza's my third choice. Nothing against him at all. I'll be using him in plenty of wagers. And then 2 long shots that I like underneath, the 4, David of Athens, and the 7, Big Truzz. So I would make a win bet on the 6, Goal Oriented, and then play an exacta with the 6 and 9 on top. That's Goal Oriented and Gosger. And then 6, 8, and 9 in second. That's putting Baeza in there with them. And then having a trifecta, putting those 3 horses, the 6, 8, and 9, Goal Oriented, Baeza, and Gosger in first and second, and then using 5 horses in third, 5 horses in second, those 3, the 6, 8, and 9, and then adding the 4 and 7 in second. And then I'm just going to key the 4 and 7 in third. That's David of Athens and Big Truzz, hoping that one of those long shots can finish third and spice up the trifecta a bit.
Yeah, I think this is one that you could maybe get a little creative with on some of your tickets, just because there is, it's really going to depend on the value and the odds. If Baeza somehow drifts north and I could get 3-1, but you never would, I would bet him. But I think he's going to be too overbet. And it's interesting that we both faded him out of the top spot. So we'll see if we don't get stung here. John Sheriffs does a good job of getting these horses ready. And he, what makes it a great race, I guess. We'll have to see Saturday when they hit the track what happens.
Yeah, definitely. But for last time I picked Baeza on top against Sovereignty just because I figured Sovereignty was targeting the Travers Stakes at 1.25 miles. He was coming off of a little bit of a layoff, and the Jim Dandy, even Mott said he wasn't fully cranked for that race. And I thought if Sovereignty was vulnerable, that would be the day. But Baeza couldn't quite get by him, and now Baeza is going to end up being the favorite. And I'm going to, like you said, try to beat him, but I respect him, and I would not be surprised if he won this race.
Yeah, well, I think we view the race fairly similarly here. It's going to be a great one. Is there going to be any before I let you go, any weather concerns back there on the track? It's supposed to be sunny, warm.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's been raining the last couple of days, but now it's supposed to clear out, and it looks like the weather's supposed to be pretty good so far. So hopefully that'll be the case this weekend, and we'll have a fast track and a cleanly run race.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Well, it was great to talk to you, Jarrod. This was really been fun. I enjoy breaking down these races with you. Hopefully we can get a winner with all that information we gave everybody. And it's just really great to talk to you again.
Yeah, it was great to talk to you. It's always great to break down the race with you. And I enjoyed our Haskell video. This one was fun as well. Yeah. I'm sure we'll be doing some other stuff down the road together. And hopefully we'll have some winning tickets. And we'll put the tickets, when we do the video, we'll have our wagering strategies on the screen as well for the fans.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you can take a look. We both did a full field rundown. And together here, I think we're going to get a winner.
I hope so. I'm sure everybody else does as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, great talking to you, and I'll talk to you again soon. Maybe we can hook up for the Breeders' Cup.
Oh, definitely. We'll have to do something for Breeders' Cup. That sounds good.
Yeah. All right, Jarrod. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you.
And I hope you enjoyed our look at the Pennsylvania Derby. And if you're interested in my full card analysis, I'm offering full cards each day for the upcoming Santa Anita Autumn Meet from September 26th to October 26th. After that, I'm going to be doing daily full cards at Del Mar. And that Del Mar Fall Meet goes from October 30th to November 30th, including both Breeders' Cup days on October 31st and November 1st. I do those 2-day Breeders' Cup full cards each year, and I've had a lot of success in the Breeders' Cup over the years. So if you want those full cards, you'll find my full card schedule at therunawayhorse.com on my shop page, and I will include a link to that shop page in the video description below. I typically email my analysis 1 or 2 days before race day, and I update tickets after scratches each race day. So go over to therunawayhorse.com for more details. And don't forget to like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.